Hello, hello. Welcome to day 1029 of Connecting the Thoughts. Quote for today is Your legacy builds on the foundation of your values. Whoa, mouthful perhaps. And interesting to note is I said your legacy builds on the foundation of your values. I did not say you build your legacy. More on that in just a while. Before we move on, let's watch the show reel. Welcome back to the conversation on day 1029 of Connecting the Thoughts. Today's quote is Your legacy builds on the foundation of your values. And what do I mean by that? Something very simple, actually. When you have, I mean, and as I was going live, I know I'm kind of deviating, but as I was going live, I just looked into the frame. When I came up on the camera on the screen, I looked up and I saw this little smiley smiling at me, and that's what made me wonder. Because I have often said my smile is my legacy, and I don't mean this smile, maybe this as well, but what I mean is my smile strategy is my legacy, and to have that little smiley that little smiley smile at me from the back, it just feels really interesting because when I say your legacy builds on the foundation of your values, isn't that so powerful? That realization that you technically have nothing to do with building a legacy, it just builds on its own. It's the way you live that your legacy builds. It's not something that you can construct. Yeah, it is something that you can construct very, very consciously, or but you can't fake it, is what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is you can't fake your legacy. Your legacy builds by itself. It builds on the foundation of your values. People remember you for the person you are because of the values you live by. That's the foundation. Once you have that foundation of your values in place, that's when everything then starts to kind of grow on top of it by itself. And it's important for you to have an understanding of those values, because it's only when you understand your values is when you're going to have a better idea of who you are as a person. A lot of us do different things and crazy things, and sometimes we tend to kind of be protective, we tend to be a little demanding, pushing, we behave awkwardly, we behave weird, we and then we wonder, where did that come from? Because when you take a step back and you look at the way you behaved, you then wonder, where did that come from? I don't think I'm that kind of a person, but where did that come from? Yes, it came up, it shot up because a situation created a trigger within you. A situation created a trigger where you felt, okay, I have to defend myself. I have to be protective of my space, or I can't let people walk all over me. So I'm going to just be I'm just going to take a stand in a different way. So, if you were to understand your values better, you would probably do things differently. Thank you. Good evening, Anbasaru. I hope I got your name right. Thank you for joining. So, what are some things that are values to you that are non negotiable, that you know that this is my value, this is my contribution, this is how I'm going to be? For me, one of my strongest values is kindness. I've lately been realizing that kindness is something that I tend to incline towards very, very strongly. Self-respect is a value that I hold very powerfully within my means. So I've learned and understood the significance of having boundaries, and also being respectful of myself. What are some things that are non negotiables for you? What are some values that drive you, that are the foundation of who you are? Because once you understand who you truly are, is when you are going to start making progress, start building your legacy. And actually, your legacy is going to build on its own based on who you are and what you're bringing to the conversation and to the world with the purpose or with the example of your life. So, wishing you all the best as your legacy builds on the foundation of your values. I know this is something really powerful. Think about it, think about it, think about your values. In fact, there is a small little test that you can do to assess what your values are. So, there's a series of questions that you can answer, and then the test actually delivers to you what your top values are. If you're interested, I can post that in comments, and you could do that and have a little aha moment of your own to understand, because it's as I said, it's important that you understand why you do what you do, and your values are the core reason for a lot of decisions that you take, a lot of conversations that you have, a lot of relationships you tend to get into or get out of, a lot of opportunities that you take up, as perhaps with when it comes to your studies, when it comes to your work, things that you do, why you do them. It's so important to understand your values. So I do hope and trust that this has been of value to you. And if it has, please write in comments saying, I am valuable. Please write in comments saying, I am valuable. If this has been of value to you, do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, because here's where I post daily videos on the little things that make life big. And there she comes, Niti, Major Niti. Thank you so much for joining. We're talking about values today and how our legacy builds upon those values. So the question I asked left my listeners with was, what are some values that you are very aware of, and why and how are they shaping the decisions and opportunities that you've been taking up in life? Do give it a thought. Write in what your comments are. For me, kindness and self-respect is something that is non-negotiable. Kindness and self-respect, absolutely non-negotiable. And the beauty of values is, yes, over time they do evolve, they do shape, they do grow, they change, they shift, but the core of you remains the same. So do think about this. Leave in your comments. Let me know what are some values that you live by, what is something that really shapes you as a person, and will be also building your legacy thereon from. So until tomorrow, if this, thank you, Niti says, I am valuable. If this has been of value to you, do write in comments saying, I am valuable. And until tomorrow, keep smiling, keep shining, stay safe, and thank you for connecting the thoughts with me. Thank you so much. Thanks.